My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2. We have a hopeful and resentful relationship in our party, both of them with Eloise, our grave robber. One with the leper, hopeful, and resentful with our plague doctor. And we're embarking now into the Fator. Alright. I think we're all good. There we are. Sorry, just making sure the volume was right on my side.
And abhorrent.
That is a lot of academic studies. There's a Shambler's altar if I want to go for it. A creature's... Oh, but it's against a hoarder! I really wanted to go to a hoarder. Oh, bugger. I really wanted to go to a hoarder because I have currently 72 baubles, and trinkets cost 75% less for us. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely going to that hoarder.
A simple choice. At least it should be.
I have to lose a little bit of armor in order to do so, but it will be worth its weight in gold. Alright, hoarder. What do you have for us? Oh, baby. Okay, first off, let's look at all the golden trinkets, right? So, Greater Sacrificial Host, 66% blight resistance. We also have when stressed, damaged, heal 33%, 10% of the time, 33% of your HP, 10% of the time. Annotated textbook, what? Oh, hilarious. Okay, this is for the Plague Doctor. Its melee skills have 10% extra chance to crit. Cool. If the medicinal herbs are equipped, which... Ding, ding, ding. Medicinal herbs active, available. Then it also gives plus 50% to healing given from Disneymer. I love it. I love it. That's going to be so good. There's also the Bloodied Branch. Gain on crit from a melee skill. Strength token 2/3 of the time. If it bleeds, deals 2 more bleed. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I lose so much of my access to the enemy's backline if I have to move Abatoth and start running if it bleeds. Also, we don't have bleeding pierce. In fact, we have lower bleed resistance piercing than default. A simple flower. On movement resist, which unfortunately we don't have any ability to resist movement at the moment. On movement resist, we would gain 2 regen. On stun resist, we would gain a block plus token. However, on crit, a 1/4 of the time, we would stress out. Yeah, no, I don't see that really happening. These 2 trinkets are much better for Dialer at the moment, who really needs to be capable of taking damage for us. There's a little bit of movement resistance given by the cleansing sensor, but that's about it. Let's have a look for some luxury equipment here. Luxury gear. Work table loom. Chance before each location to produce woven items. Milk-soaked linen counts as woven. So the work table loom would then be a second piece of equipment, a second piece of luxury gear for the sake of the orphaned wolf cub, which is more stress prevention. Can I look at my thing at the moment? I don't know if I can look at my... No. My stagecoach at the moment. Well, first off, annotated textbook. That's got to come with us. Disneymer, you are going to be holding that. You're also going to be holding the medicinal herbs so as to activate it. So natural swing is also 3% extra crit on melee skills. So we've got 13% extra crit on melee skills as well as 60% extra damage and 83% extra healing given to targets. Pretty cool. Oh, cool. I don't have to have pick to the face tagged on just because it's a positive. Very happy to see that. I also don't need to use it in order to de-stress Dyla. Dyla already has the ability to de-stress themselves. Resistance piercing for blight. Apply on hit. Healing received per positive token if you're diseased. Lower. No, I don't really desperately want any of them. Extra blight resistance. I mean, it's not a bad thing for someone to hold extra blight resistance. Significant reduction in incoming damage whenever it's actually active. Prodding Pendant's also really powerful. I could see myself replacing the Stone Mount with the Prodding Pendant. We lose our Block Plus tokens, however, the character that is most often going to be taunting is going to be capable of healing themselves a huge amount. And because they're taunting, they are more likely to be stress damaged, so they're very likely to do it as well. I definitely want to take the Greater Sacrificial Host. I'm also going to take the Prodding Pendant. I'm also going to take the Work Table Loom. I'm going to throw a couple of my trinkets away here as well. Let's quickly make sure there's nothing else here that I need to do. I don't think so. Cool. I'll leave the Hoarder. Get rid of the Minor Gilded Mine and Minor Hail Draft. Our Stagecoach
is the flickering torch you bear.
I feel quite likely to remove the Shrine map after the next area and replace that with a Work Table Loom. Is there anything else that I need to be aware of? Or alter or change in any significant fashion before we go into another fight? Doesn't appear so. Neat.
The lost souls of a dying world, empty of hope and humanity.
Yes, 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 you may hit her. I'd prefer if you didn't, but you may. Oh, that's why we like them critting, baby. Oh, there's some horror. I'm gonna destroy this corpse in order to get the stress recovery at the moment, as well as make more targets available. Death blow with an 11 against the enemy's front line, and then thunk for the minimum damage of 9. How dare you, Leper? How dare you? I got stress damage. Why don't you heal? I got stress damage. I got horror. And it didn't trigger. Neither of the stacks of horror managed to trigger there. Neat. Realistically, it's not going to be too difficult to kill these guys, so I'm going to go for Solemnity for some stress recovery there. Oh, we got a second action from Dyla because we got hit. Sick. Oh, one short of a kill. Unfortunately, have to follow that up directly.
One less obstacle in our path.
Oh, man. I'm gonna try and prevent one of the debuffs, I guess. Another Solemnity for the 2 horror we just picked up. Yes, yes, yes. I look in the mirror and I am very, very ugly. I've seen my gruesome reflection. Now die. Come on. Die. Got him. I just don't want to get to the leper's turn and have them roll horror again. They don't need that stress.
Gloom, a spark.
In this weighty gloom, a spark. I'm so excited to have the extreme synergy of, natural surgeon, natural swing surgeon, annotated textbook, medicinal herbs. Oh, over the moon about it.
Karma abhors waste. Best to take all you can.
And don't we just? We get a corrupting cleaver. We also get a tinker's bench for producing contraption items, increasing their stacking. We get some antivenom, some chalk dust, baubles, an in item. Reasonable. Okay. So it's a hero shrine to go dead ahead. However, it's mutually exclusive with another hero shrine. And that other hero shrine goes towards the Shambler's Altar. So, how do I feel about a Shambler's Altar? If I get shuffled by the enemy, which, that'll happen at the start of the Shambler's fight, but if I get shuffled consistently, that kind of screws me. Because I don't really have much move resist. And then I wouldn't really be able to put out a huge amount of damage to the targets on field consistently. It's also worth noting that if I go on any path except for the rightmost unknown, I'm also confirming that I will be going towards a lair. I definitely don't think I need a second trophy from a lair. We can go to an oasis after that. Yeah, oasis or Shambler's Altar. It's also worth noting, this Shambler's Altar has one space before it then leads us directly into an Oblivion's Ingress and then a Delivion. You know what? I don't think I can take that risk. I've been working this entire way, trying to justify my way towards going to the Shambler's Altar. But after it, we have 2 cultist encounter fights. That's just too much. That's simply too much. A shame. Alas.
Look ahead. A place to reflect, remember, and reconcile.
Impervious enemies. Can't stun. Well, I don't really have a plan to.
On to the next.
Just a crit for 15 immediately? How dare you? Ya big ol' lost soul.
Learn upon closer inspection.
I'll crit you in response. Unfortunately, I don't get much stress recovery from it. There we go, 1 round combat.
In this weighty gloom, a spark.
I may take an early opportunity to throw a battlefield medicine against Abatoth in the next fight. That said, they may not need it by that point because the road healing might have gotten them.
The past, if we are ever to be free of it.
It is said that even death shuns cowards and fools.
Chapter 5. The Great Emptiness. Alone and untethered, she wandered the countryside, fighting for sport and soaking her wounds in wine. She sought death at every turn, desperate for a second chance to prove her mettle. But it seemed even that terrible wraith had forsaken her. Her isolation was absolute. Her shame barely concealed by a fragile facade of fearlessness.
Oh, you get 2 for the final. I was wondering with being on chapter 5 and having more skills to unlock what was going to happen here. Okay. Adrenaline Rush is finally unlocked. Requires the self to have less than a third HP. However, it will heal for 20%. It will remove bleed and winded. And it also gives gain on attack healed 20%. Interesting. Howling End from any of the front two lines to any of the enemy's front two lines. It does a large amount of damage, and then it retreats one position as well as wins the self. Neat. I wonder if either of those is viable right now over toe-to-toe or bleed out. Raucous Revelry is getting closer to viable here as well, actually. I'm going to take that over toe-to-toe, and then Adrenaline Rush. So, one of the big reasons, plus 20% healing given, negative 20% healing received from skills. Okay, so those would actually balance one another out, I believe, for the sake of Adrenaline Rush. I like Adrenaline Rush, but I also don't think I need Adrenaline Rush. At least, yet.
Reliable information brings accurate insight, after all.
It does indeed. To the point that I feel like maybe it would be appropriate for me, and this was something mentioned by a comment recently after I mentioned, hey, I don't really remember what I need in all of these different locations. Because there's a lot of numbers to keep track of in this game.
And lament.
The fact that I could, if I desperately wanted, and I do, keep a couple notes over to the side to tell me, oh, you know, this region has these things, make sure you're aware. It's, honestly, this is a process I go through with a lot of games, where, you know, there is a huge amount of things to learn in games, and unfortunately, I don't necessarily always learn the thing the first time I encounter it, because there's so many other things to learn as well. So it often is useful for me to effectively winnow that down to useful operating practices, standard operating practices, heuristics, effectively, that I can rely on until I am much more familiar with the systems, and then I can break back out of those. And so these notes would be an attempt to give myself the data to create those heuristics. Savvy? Cool. Just had to flip to an open page. Let's go to this watchtower, do some scanning. Abatoth asks, we're in hell, aren't we? Not for much longer, Abba. We're round in the corner. I mean, I'm definitely going to fight the two first areas of the lair.
And foul tidings. No doubt the source is within.
It's theoretically possible that I would fight the final version of it.
They ate the rotten flesh of their animals.
Don't! Oh, that's going to move.
Hungry.
Yay.
They turned upon themselves.
At least the Plague Doctor acts before the leper, so I can try and move the Plague Doctor back in order to move the leper forward. I'm not going to be especially capable of blighting almost any of these enemy targets.
Well done.
Oh! A crit to the back line makes it much more likely that I am capable of Iron Swanning that target out of existence. It did look a lot like that if we did. I don't like that battering ram is
Observe
another...
the subject carefully, and you will discover its weaknesses.
Oh no, wait, it can use Beast of Burden from this? Yeah, never mind. It doesn't have the ability to move Dialer directly from where it is currently standing. Just gonna delete an enemy. Excuse me? It gave me a disease? Hemic Rot. Oh, at round start, a 15% chance to become weak. That's annoying, actually, on you. one more damage and I wouldn't have had to deal with anything else. Alas. Beast of Burden tries to pull forward our Plague Doctor. Unfortunately, it manages to. Plague Doctor's move resist is very low. Use Revenge here for a stress recovery on Eloise. Eloise is gonna destroy a corpse for some stress recovery as well. I hope that I can, nice, attack that without killing it, but set it up to die, which we do. And then I get to use Raucous Revelry in order to remove 2 stress from our Hellion before the enemy dies to their
The
DOT.
smallest variable can make all the difference.
Best possible outcome for that fight. Unfortunately, I'm blinded. And crit. Oh, that's a lot of stress to suddenly get from a single action there. Seems reasonable to bleed the livestock.
An unavoidable end.
And that's enough for it to die. Yeah, blighting these characters isn't going to get me particularly far, so I'm just going to throw a dagger directly at the Lord in the back line. 8 damage. We strongly shackle them. They lash the battering ram with a tongue, and then it dies. Yeah, Dyla, it's time for you to withstand. I would prefer you direct attacks towards yourself. Completely fine with you moving forward. Let's now roll Revenge on you. Then I will Dead of Night the corpse in order to remove it and give access to bleeding attacks to our the Lord, rather. From our board. From our board to the Lord. Ooh, barbaric yawping these enemies seems really good here also. Oh, unfortunately I missed. Oh, that hurts. How much does that hurt? I want to use Solemnity for some stress recovery on our leper in the front line here. They get to use another munch. A little bit more stress looks like it tried to come out there, but didn't manage to. Okay. Actually, no. Just throw a dagger at the back line, Eloise. And well aimed. That'll get that target on the ground. I can use a battlefield medicine here to heal 13. Yeah, that's about a third of the HP bar of the Hellion there. Good enough, I feel. We'll put the Lord down on the ground so that they have to resist the DOT trigger for Death Blow at the start of their turn. They do not manage to.
The greatest of threats.
I break the enemy in order to remove their block plus token before having to even think about possibly removing them. I'm going to use Repartee here in order to try and pull an attack from them. Inhuman Appetites. Oh, interesting. So she now has a powerful skill available to her. I need to make sure she doesn't get to act.
Misdirected.
Feels like, wow, that's very low on the damage end. Hang on. I was about to say it feels very unlikely that she gets to attack, but now it feels extremely likely she does. We get one dodge, a lot of stress across the party. I didn't like that. Roll Ounce of Prevention. I need to use some more stress recovery abilities before we leave this. Solemnity for some stress recovery. Raucous Revelry for some more stress recovery. So we got 5 points of stress worked off the party at the very end there. You get to mulch, but you die as a response due to attacking my armor. Grave Robber. Poison Dart deals 2 extra blight. And on crit, range skills do 2 blight. If we're in rank 1, we take a lot more damage though. Harvest Bounty. Each hero on turn end, 3% chance to heal 2. If you're in rank 1, 50% extra healing received from skills. If you're in rank 4, 25% extra healing given. I don't know. His rings do seem like a really good way to try and get more damage out of my Grave Robber, but I don't need the trophy. So I would be doing it largely for that. You know what? No.
Abandoned or forgotten. It is ours now.
I don't need to possibly limp my way out of that fight. I'm already doing okay. Minor Clot and Craw. Let's get rid of, I believe, the Disarming Dagger. Oh my god, did I not actually put the I didn't put the Prodding Pendant on anyone. Hilarious. I mean, Dyla was the person who was going to hold it. And then Eloise, you may as well have amazing Blight Resist. Okay. Then I'm going to drop the Strong Shackles and Heat Shields. And that's the best I can do at the moment. We'll trundle on ahead. Yeah, everyone wants to go to the Oasis now. Which is mutually exclusive with the Shambler's Altar. So one thing about the left path here is I have to lose an armor to go there, and then I would need to lose 2 more armor to take the other path if I didn't want to then go down Oblivion to Academic's Desk, into Oblivion, into Academic Study. In fact, I think that path guarantees that I overflow with my Loathing. I think I am best served by taking the right path here. Also, pretty much everyone on the squad is recommending that we take this path. Dyla resisted the stress they would have gotten for disagreeing. Abattoth and Dysnomir cleared a little bit of stress themselves. Oh, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Abattoth's Bon Vivant. Let's shed these layers and have a night to remember. Versus Eloise's, well, no heat, no salt, no wine, but it shall suffice. -3 stress to the entire party. Matters one hell of a lot right there. Now it's only Dysnomir with just a wee little bit of stress on him. I'd love to go to a field hospital. Unfortunately, obviously not available on this path. At least as far as I'm aware. Yeah, definitely not. So I'd really like to
indeed.
Line up
In destruction.
one of them in the next zone, if possible. Yeah. Unfortunately, Hemic Rot is going to significantly reduce the damage from Dysnomir here.
Incremental, but deadly all the same. slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Target has dodge,
Calculation,
but I can
perhaps.
ignore their guard with that attack. And we did. It just didn't help. I'm gonna withstand on our leper. I would prefer him to take all of our attacks. Thank you muchly. Yeah, you'll get bled a bunch, but it'll be okay. Let us strike down the enemy frontliner. Yeah, you're bled 5 for 4 turns. Do I want to prevent that right now? No. I go for the incision, and unfortunately, it doesn't work out that well for us. Dunk. Yeah, even the crit wouldn't have been enough to put the unit down. Would have put them on 12, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Dialer is going to be on low enough health to use Solemnity for a heal, even. Upcoming soon, which is lovely to see.
A calculated generosity. What a welcome
Unless I want to heal them
nonetheless.
directly. And then just finish the enemy.
A righteous action.
I don't want to risk another disease. Also, it's a tiny amount of stress.
Unpleasant in the extreme. This work is noble and necessary.
It's not unpleasant in the extreme. Well, actually, no. Never mind, it is. When you force me to fight dogs, it is unpleasant in the extreme. Fine with killing
My
humans,
wealth
though.
and possessions bundled into this meager pile.
Curious is the trapmaker's art. Stimulating poultice, rather.
Your coach is laden. You can carry no more.
I don't believe I need 2 stacks of antivenom. I don't think I need that smoke bomb, though. Get rid of the Hag's Horde as well. Get rid of the Guarding Gauntlet, Corrupting Cleaver, Pristine Law. I'll leave the Stone Mount, though. I really wish you could sell trinkets at some point. It would feel better than, you know, accumulating all of them and then throwing them all away. Another road battle. Thunk.
A master stroke.
Ridiculous damage to the enemy's backline there. They howl at us
Measure
and
out
give us
your
all the
violence.
horrors.
And apply it judiciously.
I'm gonna remove my blindness to guarantee that I hit this break, which also does crit, sick. And in doing so, I'm gonna remove 2 block tokens from the enemy's frontlining ghoul here. I can't do anything but crit right now. 85% chance to crit.
Well done.
Nothing but crits. And now it's time for you to withstand. Leper? Oh, do I get an extra turn for that? Dang. By throwing these, I get to put the woodsman on the ground as well as deal some damage to the back line. It's about the best position we could be in. Enemy frontliner down. Skull toss, but it doesn't manage to stress us out. An Iron Swan for a bunch of damage to their backline. They are on the ground as of their next turn. Roll Solemnity for some stress recovery on our leper here. And then... oh my god, yeah. Wait.
What can we learn upon closer inspection?
Okay, yeah, from that back position, they don't have the ability to rend my leper. They would have the ability to howl to hit my leper, though. But maybe there's a hidden cooldown on howl. I'm gonna destroy the corpse. I'm gonna remove my own horror. Roll revenge there. Dang. Yeah, the enemy gets their turn and dies. I really wanted to see if I could get my Plague Doctor to act fast enough in order to heal themselves. And minor Wuss Blood. We'll immediately drop that. I don't want that speed for that max HP, but realistically, the big thing I don't want to do is swap any of my current trinkets for that trinket. Not only do I have to worry about the trade-off the trinket itself makes, I have to worry about the trade-off of not having a different trinket in that slot. Oblivion's Ingress. The enemies are sturdy, so that's 25% extra max HP, as well as movement resist. Ugh. Huge block tokens for the enemy. I could see myself using a Thunderclap Grenade to make this not awful. We managed to blight up their backliner, setting up for a only half damage Iron Swan rather than quarter damage Iron Swan. Their unit out of position uses a Rush Judgment. I can get rid of my weakness token by attacking one of the enemies right now. I think it makes sense. Yeah, we crit for only 3 damage. Definitely time to withstand on our leper. Try and call attacks down onto themselves. That taunt token! I didn't want to be stacking DOTs on that target. Well, at least I still have the ability to Iron Swan their backline. Oh my god. We're 1 HP away from that character dying. So rude. I'm gonna roll Revenge. A little bit of stress recovery on Eloise, as well as some useful buffs. And now we're in the position where that altar never needs to be attacked again.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Oh, neat. Huge resistance increases for our leper, who is invigorated by having had a conversation with our grave robber. That should die, right? Yep. Because it attacked my leper, who has the armor. Let's use battlefield medicine to heal up as well as remove a huge amount of bleeds. Unfortunately, Abatoth has been blinded. 5% chance cue the darkness. I want to elect to Yorp at him in order to weaken the target who is about to crit us ridiculously. And I'm going to try and break through your armor. We're going to fail. Ugh. Hemic Rot is just constantly taking the damage away from Disnamir. Thankfully, I care more about heals on her right now. So it's not too much of an issue. You're more than welcome to do that. You affected absolutely no change. Time to hit him with 14? Really? Again, quite near the low end. It was 12 to 23. So being near the low end is nothing to turn one's nose up at. That is unfortunate and bad. Let's go with the big self-heal there on our Plague Doctor, Disnamir. Let's also quickly try and destroy a corpse in order to get some stress recovery. And while we did destroy the corpse, we failed to actually get the stress recovery from it. And then the leper intervened in order to give us stress recovery anyway. "25% chance to hit this target." Got him. We'll roll out to prevention, as our Plague Dog doesn't have the ability to reach that line, and then Dead of Night for some stress recovery. Then I'm rolling Raucous Revelry for more stress recovery.
Haste.
Dang, I don't manage to thunk the enemy out of existence there, unfortunately. They roll another Brisk Bedevilment, and only deal damage themselves. One more Dead of Night for even more stress recovery before we get out of this mission. Never mind, everything worked out pretty well. Ooh, and a crit. That was a lovely end to our fight right there.
In this weighty gloom, a spark.
No. Bleed resistance is actually really sick.
Whispers.
I can use that in order to have 105 bleed resistance on our Hellion at all times. That's sick. So they're not going to be bled by their own ravaging. Over encumbered, we must make room for more items. Yes, yes, yes. Clear all corpses. Pouch of Lie is seldom going to be useful for us. I can feel that. I think Invigorating Intoxicant is worth having at least for the very end of the run. Taking it there is a little laborious, but I think it's still worthwhile. Tinker's Bench and the Trapmaker's Kit. I don't think I'm gonna want to install either of these. I want the work table loom. Alright. They're probably individually quite powerful. However, I am also already overloaded with items. More combat items than I know what to do with. And I'm about to put another item into the wagon that makes more combat items. So I don't want to, you know, add a problem on top of a problem, you know? When you worry, you make it double, that kind of sitch. I'm gonna thunderclap these enemies. Ooh, moving the altar to the very back of the line. That's good.
Bravo!
Crit to apply some DOT, as well as remove one of the bigger damage blocks. Set up an Iron Swan. You know, in terms of just prevention of enemies, let's roll the ounce of prevention here.
Confers advantage.
I'm gonna use milk-soaked linen to clear the 2 blinds on us. And you know what? I'm gonna roll revenge before I roll anything else. Of course their frontline gets the taunt. I can use my flashing dagger in order to hit the front line, as well as another unit at the same time. I will do so. Unfortunately, Disnamir does have 2 blind targets, and I can't really do anything about them right now, so... let's just try and get our incisions through. A stack of worship 2 on that cherub.
Let us take a closer look at the thing, as repulsive as it is.
It concerns me that they have a skill that I haven't seen that I think might be activated after it hits worship. High enough stack of worship. Yeah. That's to be expected pretty much every time you fight this guy. Jump. Significantly less damage than I expected to do, honestly. Yeah, I had to expect to miss at least one of those. I don't want to yell at him. Because I do damage and then he just heals it back up at the very start of his turn. He's Sundering Steels. Yeah, I could have gotten 2 weakness on him, I guess. It's crit time, baby. 35 damage. That's what the leopard does. Get him. Definitely time to poison dart this cherub. Enfeebling miasma, and they deal some damage to themselves as well. Love it. Let's... ooh. No, absolutely heal up our Hellion. Don't want them dealing extra damage.
No time to falter.
Why? I'm doing plus 50% damage at the moment. But even despite that, I feel like I'm doing nothing. 5 to 9? Why is it not 6 to 12? Ah! I see. Deacon has been buffed with melee skills. Negative 50% damage taken for a single battle. Does that mean that your chop would have done 70? I don't think so. Wow, 6 to 12 rolls the 6. Our Arc Laura before that was also pretty poor. Got dodged again. How dare you heal him? I needed that unit to die. flashing daggers. Still does not manage to get their backliner, unfortunately. Exaltation, don't add a DOT. It didn't, thankfully. But Abatoth's resolve is tested, and they melt down. Losing a bunch of status there, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna get myself off Death's Door with a Raucous Revelry. Not really the best position to use that in, but I'll take it. Gosh. Yeah, unfortunately there's a Dodge Plus token on that target. They take significantly less damage to melee, and they blind all of the targets that do damage, and dodge tokens from other people as well. And it's so difficult to do any damage to this Shurim!
Awash in turmoil.
Ugh! I just want someone to be able to project damage to that line, that's all I want. Unfortunately, only one person can do it per round. I'm gonna try and roll Bleed Out, I think. Oh, another stack of Winded. To 9, we do 6. Oh my god! This is so huge! I actually get to attack before they do. The Cherub is dead. Now I don't have to worry about this ridiculous amount of healing that it's capable of putting.
Perhaps they have given their last.
What? How do you do that much damage? Raucous Revelry to get some stress recovery for the entire party. I would love to use Solemnity right now. I'm gonna put you on the ground. Dead of Night to claim a corpse with some stress recovery there. And then we'll roll a critical death blow. Yeah, that final fight sucked. That's going to require a lot of investment in the inn to fix.
An artifact of unparalleled power.
Idle thought. If a stained item is equipped plus 100% damage at round end, negative 30% damage for a battle. That is not a debuff, by the way. And as a result, you cannot resist that. At least I don't believe it's a debuff. It's also Foreclosure Notice. Oh! Apply on hit if you're in rank 4. Oh, neat. Apply on hit if you're in rank 4. Combo. A third of the time. And gain a third of the time after using flashing daggers. Stealth. However, if we don't have stealth, less healing received from abilities. I like it.
The loathing abates.
I mean, yeah, I totally want to use that. And I will get rid of the Bulwark Band in order to have an open slot still. Now, I believe I also used, yes, enough combat items to open another slot for myself here. Part of the problem right now is we don't have much torch, but that's going to be rectified relatively soon.
These warm candlelit windows promise refuge.
Oh man. The stress on this party. Woo! And they all hate one another as well. I'm gonna have to spend all of my money trying to fix that.
The fire is lit. The table is set. The inn awaits its favorite guests.
Dyler has gained Pacifist. 1/20th of a chance to gain stress on attack. Disnamir, however, has gained Raconteur. Knows how to weave an absorbing tale. Extra chance for positive relationships. And Eloise is a Shroud Scrounger. Okay. Look at the provisioner.
Spend what you can, for wealth no longer has meaning. if indeed it ever did.
Okay, that line, I thought that line meant that the next area is the mountain. Because, I know it's a line from the first game, or at least, it's riffing off of a line from the first game. I'm well aware of that. No, but I thought that it was employed very specifically in this game to say, hey, spend all of your money at this inn because there's no more inns. Just get as many benefits as you can here and then leave. But that's not actually the case, thankfully. Because I could have ambiguously screwed that up by reading regions to mountain 1? What, does that mean the mountain's the next region, huh?
Experience, however painful, is the greatest teacher of all.
In terms of in items, whiskey bottle, some whiskey to try and fix some relationships, some calming incense. Definitely taking the whiskey bottle, definitely.
A bit of comfort on the road to damnation.
Dyla and Disney, how's your relationship? Unfriendly. Wait, does anyone have a 6 relationship with one another? No. Dyla and Disney, you only need 1 increase in your relationship to be friendly with, well, not friendly, but not unfriendly, rather, with one another. So I'm going to use the whiskey bottle on Abba and another target on board. Oh, never mind. Abba and Disney are going to hate each other. Oh well.
Each improvement, a new variable in the equation of your fate.
As for ongoing stress recovery, let's go get another calming incense. Very effective stress management here, love it. +4 speed until the next inn, plus 40% stun resistance until the next inn. I do want to use those to free up spaces in my inventory again. If I was much better at setting up combo on targets, I could see myself using the Cruel Intent on our leper. But our leper is also a huge part of our defensive strategy here, taking the damage that others would have taken. Let's have a look at some food. I definitely want the stale bread.
Something to ease the rigors of the road.
Let's also... That's 25% healing received from skills. Neat. Let's also pick up some more whiskey. Use that to get, I believe it's Dyla and Disney. Yep. We can at least improve their relationship. Unfortunately, everyone hates the Hellion right now. What are the boundaries, though, for very unfriendly? It looks like 1 more would get them off of that and make them only unfriendly with one another. There we go. Significantly lower chance of them forming a negative relationship, at least. Stale bread for both of our frontliners for plus 20% health. I really like the idea of the extra speed on our Hellion, giving them the opportunity to possibly set up a combo on a target that we then use the thrown dagger to take advantage of. Also putting this stun resist on the target that gets hit the most in Dyla. Having a look at our masteries. I believe important to me, I mean, Dyla, you can upgrade so many abilities right now. I believe one of the things most important to me is Eloise upgrading flashing daggers to actually be worth using consistently here. just don't really see myself upgrading Raucous Revelry. You know what it seems like? It seems like Raucous Revelry, more than anything else, is a stress recovery tool that you use. Obviously, it wins the self, unfortunately. Is a stress recovery tool you use right before you clear all of your winded tokens on yourself in a long, long battle. I just don't expect to see any super long battles immediately after this. Upgrading Adrenaline Rush gives the initial heal higher, also removes more DOTs. I don't think Bleed Out should be tagged on Amatoth. Dyla, the fact that you now don't have the pony does make, I believe, Withstand a useful upgrade for you. Where am I going to next?
Consider your position and plan accordingly.
Extra Candle of Hope at everywhere. Fight 6 or less road battles. Even more Candles of Hope. Interesting. Oh no. That's not what I want. Plus 100% cultist encounter location scouting, so I'll find all of the cultist encounters, and there's more of them. And the goal is to visit 2 or more Oblivion Ingresses. That would be a really, really good way to get more trinkets. Unfortunately, the big thing that I want is to take fewer risks right now and just shore up my team by going to a hoarder to buy some stuff, resolving a couple of their negatives at a field hospital in particular would be quite useful. I suspect I might even be done. Okay, Abba. Show me your abilities. Why is Bleed Out one of them right now? Howling End upgrades with significantly more damage. How often do I need a finisher for that target, though? One thing I found in the previous was that it was really difficult to project damage to line 3. I could... I never actually cast Noxious Blast this whole time because I would use Incision instead. So yeah, for exactly that reason, I'll turn Plague Grenade on for absolute desperation moves. Okay. Okay. That looks a lot better to me. Checking with the Wainwrights, I will get one of each.
The roads are rife with peril. A little protection is always welcome.
So Toe-to-Toe's upgrade is to remove Winded. I can't rely on my only healing in the party being Plague Doctor, because then I have to wait for the Plague Doctor to act to use it. Adrenaline Rush seems really powerful. Upgrading it just gives me the ability to remove more DOTs though. And if I'm about to go to the Sprawl, it feels... Well, bleeding is also important in the Sprawl. I really want to upgrade Chop at some point as well. Maybe I could afford that after the next area. Ounce of Prevention upgrade here, actually, also really sings. In certain fights where I know a lot of DOTs are going to come out, it would feel very appropriate, in fact, to open the fight with an Ounce of Prevention. I'm taking my time because this is important. I loathe to take my time when it's not necessary. One other thing is how much can I rely on milk-soaked linens? Because reflection upgraded would basically perform the function of solemnity right now. I could tag off solemnity, tag on reflection upgraded. Gives us additional debuff resistance going forward after the fact. I can't rely on always having milk-soaked linens ready. Although I do currently have them ready, and I have even more, and I'm intending on keeping as many as I can get access to. This feels an appropriate change to make to our party at this point in time. Tell them they're going on the sprawl.
City. Another inferno of mutilation and madness.
We'll rest the night before moving onwards, and then that'll show us the envious relationship.
Each covets what the other has.
Another envious relationship.
Take it.
Oh no. If it bleeds in toe-to-toe and lunge an ounce of prevention. This is really annoying. These are abilities I didn't want these people to have. But now they do, which means a lot of their other abilities that I wanted to use will be locked out instead for the next area in the sprawl. Hopefully, in the next episode, we'll be able to fix some of their relationships before we go to the final area. But for the moment, well, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game is Being Darkest Dungeon 2. Top left is the series playlist for all my content in the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below, stream past. Other names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Dyla. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see y'all next time.